Hey guys, it's Jason here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the video. Don't mind my voice. I went from being perfectly healthy to sick within an hour. So what we're going to do though is we are going to just get into this buggy right away. I can't spend a lot of time talking because as soon as I do, I just start to feel even worse. So we are going to be replacing the skid, the center transmission, all that kind of fun stuff. We are going to be getting the Tekin Roc412 HD 1800 kV installed as well. Get it all back together, and then we'll probably take the buggy out just for kind of a quick drive around the house just to see how it feels with the 1800 kV. Maybe try it on 2 and 3S, maybe 4S, just because why not? But either way, guys, again, I don't feel the greatest, but I still am excited to get this thing back together. So I'm just going to get this install going, and then we'll be able to check it out. All right, so we're getting things done, guys. As you can see, I've got everything torn around. I've even started kind of putting the bearings in the new pieces. And two things I wanted to show you while I was in here. One, if you're wondering about the locker, so this is the Axial locker. It just kind of sits in the diff case. It replaces the spider gears. I have not, guys, had any issues with it. You can see, if I can get you guys to focus, there's nothing going on there. Again, I had just seen a few posts where people were having issues with them, so I decided to replace it. When you replace your locker with something like an SSD or a Trail, it replaces everything, so you don't have to worry about the plastic diff case anymore. This just all kind of bolts up and you're good to go. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you guys while I was in here, because I was kind of impressed with this, you can see in here, guys, I'm going to just kind of stay quiet for a second and see if anybody's thinking what I was thinking. There are no shavings. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, that's the way it's supposed to be. But sometimes, guys, let's face it, some companies will use, cheaper metal on their gears and stuff like that. And you kind of get into these casings and you always see like a lot of debris sitting around. There's nothing in here. And again, guys, that's rolling. This truck's been rolling around with that 2400 kV. We've done 2S, we've done 3S runs. We've had some fun and everything still looks good. So it's nice to know that Axial had good gears in this transmission and it's not something we have to worry about. But either way, guys, I'm going to keep going with this thing. A little bit of a montage because I was working on the truck, and again, like I mentioned, guys, at the beginning of the video, I'm sick, I sound horrible, and I was just kind of working away, snapped a few pics, but we are almost there. I've got everything connected. I've got battery hooked up right now. We're going to do kind of our first little blip of throttle. I've already programmed the ESC, calibrated the ESC. We got a pretty good incline right now going on the drive shafts, but there's no binding or anything like that, so I'm not too worried about doing this. We got our steering. Obviously, guys, all the steering, nothing changed on the ESC. Like I said, I didn't reprogram it. I just recalibrated it. But yeah, guys, we're good to go. So at this point now, I'm just kind of excited to get this thing all back together. So I'm going to continue. All right, guys, in typical fashion, I got everything installed. Everything is bolted up. I even put my interior back in. And yeah, guys, it looks pretty incredible in there. The one thing that's nice about this Tekin motor, this 1800 Roc 412 HD, is it is a little bit shorter than the 2400. So where the 2400 was very, very close to hitting that upper kind of mount, you can sort of see, I don't know if I can get a better shot for you guys, but this motor, guys, is a little bit shorter, has a little bit more clearance, so it's kind of nice. But what I did want to show you guys was, if you watch the montage and you were looking at all at my gearing, and if you decided to count to see what was going on, I have the 53 tooth spur and I had a 14 tooth pinion. And as soon as I got this truck down and I powered it up, I realized that I had sort of totally misjudged how much slower the 1800 kV was going to be. And by that, I mean, it wasn't much slower at all. Still tons of wheel spin, very powerful motor. And honestly, guys, it sort of caught me off guard. So what I ended up doing
was I took, obviously guys, the cover back off, went through some of the pinions I had. I still had, I don't know where it came from, a 12 tooth Mod 1 5mm bore pinion from something, and I got that in and wanted to see if I could mesh it up, and I could. Now I'm going to show you guys, it is not the perfect mesh, but if I can get my finger in there while I'm holding this up, you can see I've got a little bit of play, and I'm okay with that. It's a little bit snugger than I would have liked, but I'm pretty sure, guys, it'll be fine. That's the one thing that's nice with this trail mount, is that it gives you a lot of options for gearing. Now, after I got the 12 tooth in, I put the buggy back down on the ground, and I kind of tested things out. And overall, yes, going from the 14 to the 12 was nice, but I would still like to go smaller. I did take the pinion off, I removed the screws, and I was kind of just sort of playing with the motor and seeing how, you know, much closer I could just move it, where I could get the shaft kind of an angle with the spur. And I don't see myself being able to get anything smaller in there. I'm going to pick up an 11 tooth and just try. I'm pretty sure it's not going to work. I think 12 tooth is as small as I'm going to be able to go. But again, there was a nice little difference from the 12 tooth, or from the 14 tooth to the 12 tooth, but I would still like to go even lower. I am realizing now, guys, as I work on this thing, that I'm running into the issue of what this buggy was designed for. This thing was not designed to be a slower crawler. It was designed to be a rock bouncer, rock racer, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm definitely feeling those internal gears, even though I'm pretty sure, guys, when I built this thing, I did everything as low as I possibly could in there. I could still do something like the high-low trans, but I don't see any need for it. And from the videos, guys, I watched, there's barely a difference. So either way, though, guys, we will see how this goes. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the cover on, get the body panels back on, and then we'll just take it out, guys, for a quick little rip in the yard and see how. All right, guys, so that was a lot of fun. Even though I was just in front of my house, you know, going from the lawn up into the flower garden type thing, it was a lot of fun. And that's what I wanted out of this buggy. What you saw today, not necessarily in front of my house type thing, but what you saw today is exactly what I built this buggy for. I just want to be able to go out on the trails, have a good time, and when I come across some weird looking obstacle, I could go up to it and just power through it, because obviously, guys, this thing's got a ton of power, or I just do the slow crawl and have fun. And that's exactly, guys, what I wanted to do. I had more fun today in front of my house climbing up that little, you know, the curb kind of thing, whatever you want to call it, the brickwork there, than I did in the entire last video when I was out with the Ryft at my work, just bouncing all over those rocks. That is not what I intended this buggy to be for. I took it to work that day just for something to do, but that was not what I ever intended to do with this buggy. So either way, guys, I am very pumped to get this thing out running in the trails. I still have the foams coming. I still have the shocks coming. We're going to be able to lower this bad boy just a little bit, and I'm really looking forward to that. One other thing I didn't mention, and it's kind of important. When I was getting the buggy ready to go out today, I had thrown in a 2S cell battery, and I was running it, kind of just sort of testing it on my bench. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try something. So I went into my drawer and I grabbed this guy. This is a Gensace Adventure Series. It's a 3S 4300 milliamp high voltage pack. Now, if you're thinking what I'm thinking right now, you're probably going, well, wait a minute. Weren't you trying to slow down this truck? Why are you adding more volts? That's going to make it faster. That's going to make it have more RPMs. But I wanted to see, by having those volts, if my torque and that takeoff would feel better, less kind of sluggish. And that is exactly, guys, what happened. Instead of it feeling like I'm kind of pulling the trigger, you know, like pull before it starts to get going because of that gearing, I actually found the 3S just seemed to, I don't know, speed up the whole process, but still gave me great low-end torque. So even though I've been thinking 2S, yeah, that's not going to happen, guys. I'm going to be definitely sticking with this 3S pack. It worked a lot better, and even for low speed, guys, it worked better. Yeah, it probably gave me more, it definitely would have gave me more RPMs and gave me more speed, but it worked better at low end, so I'm going to be definitely, guys, sticking with that. We're over on the bench, if you haven't seen already, because this is going on over here. That's my sledge build. You probably saw it in the last video of the TRX4M unboxing I did and the update video I kind of just put together. But either way, guys, loving this thing. It is an absolute monster. I definitely need to get another 1/10 scale crawler. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm really digging the Traxxas TRX4 High Lift, the blue, whatever it is, Chevy Blazer K10. I think it's the K10, sorry. I'm really digging that. The blue, the copper, the, what's the other color there? The silver, that gray color is definitely pimp. So I'm thinking, guys, about picking up something like that to go along with this truck. So when I head out to the trails and my son or my daughter comes with me, they can, well, we can just take turns. We each can drive different trucks. I did think about a Gatekeeper as well. I can get those for not a bad price, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think I should pick up to go along with this truck. But either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are really digging this thing. You see right now the camera just kind of floating around. That's because I've just been enjoying looking at this thing. I've been lugging it around my house. It is definitely one of the sharpest RCs that I have now, and I don't know, guys. I'm so glad I built this thing, and I finally decided to just do the right thing, and instead of constantly picking up new vehicles, spend the money on the parts and build this beast. But guys, like always, if you enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up, please subscribe, and have a great day.